President of the United States has given a tour of the Oval Office during an interview with affiliates at Fox News. Speaking with Laura Ingraham, President Trump took the presenter into the White House's inner sanctum for a rare look at some of the changes he's made.
We've taken a lot of great paintings out of the vault. And I don't know, maybe you could circle that somehow. So here's a question I ask. So Reagan has a place of prominence, and George Washington has a place of prominence. And I've asked this question maybe 200 times. People come in. I said, so who would you put in the place of prominence, George Washington or Ronald Reagan? Who would you put?
Washington.
So far, it's 219-0. And they like Reagan.
Oh, I love Reagan.
But here's what they like more than anything. So this is the Declaration of Independence.
Wow.
And they ask that this be done. It's never been up. It's been in the vaults for many, many decades. And they said, we have to do something like drapes or something because the light eventually affects it. And it's very cool.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
Wow.
Think Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it? Do you think he knows what it is?
Wow.
No, but look at it. So, but this was, none of these pictures were up. Oh, you know, very few. It's like very little. And it's been great.
Now, there was a lot made on another network about your bringing in the gold accents to Trumpify the Oval Office.
It needed a little life.
So you have the mantle, and you have the cherubs from, is that from Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah, that's actually, they're gold, all gold, look. And you know, it's angels. They say angels bring good luck. And we need a lot of luck in this country with what they've done over the last 4 years. So take a look. Do you know that, a little secret, I don't know if you're going to waste your time putting this on, but throughout the years, people have tried to come up with a gold paint that would look like gold, and they've never been able to do it.
Can't do it.
You've never been able, look at that look. You've never been able to match gold with gold paint. That's why it's gold. And this is very important. Very proud of this, Gulf of America. And in fact, Elon said to me, you know, we're landing in the Gulf of America. So he was saying, and he said it naturally. He said it so routinely. He said, yeah, the capsule, you know, is landing in the Gulf of America. So I called Elon, where is it dropping down? He said, Gulf of America. How cool is that, right?
What do you think all these presidents would think right now about
I think
the
they'd
state
be proud
of the
of our country. I think a year ago they would have been disgraced by our country, and I think today they're proud of our country. This is the Resolute desk, by the way. I had that just redone by an unbelievable group. They do only the White House furniture. They do only very special. This is the Resolute desk. Many great presidents sat behind that desk, and many didn't. I mean, you know, they have 7. When you're president, they give you a choice of 7 desks. This is the one.
Why? Why did you want this one?
Just like I like the history. You had Reagan, you had Kennedy. That was the famous one with John, who I knew very well, and he was a friend of mine. He was a great guy. He would have been maybe president someday. He would have been a real chance to be president. He was going to get into politics. He was actually a great guy. John. But remember when he was a young boy, the picture of him at the bottom of the desk?
Where's the Coke button?
It's right here. Everyone thinks that's the nuclear. Everyone thinks that's the nuclear weapon. They think it's a nuclear weapon. They say if I press this, it's the end of the world.
Oh, And then there's like 50,000.
And it doesn't seem to work out that way.
50.
Doesn't that look beautiful though over there? But to me, you know what looks beautiful? The Gulf of America. Look at that.
Which one's better? Which one?
And I'll take the Declaration of Independence. I think so. Isn't that cool?
When's the first time you signed? The way you sign your name, it's just people are so fascinated. But have you had that signature since you were little?
Pretty much, but it's become sharper. In other words, if I look at it from 20 years ago, it was similar, but it was much softer.
And you like when your staff secretary reads out the executive orders to you when you're sitting
No, I only do that for the media, for the fake news.
Okay.
This way, yeah, they read it out. And, you know, I'll do now, because I don't even have to move. I'll do them, I'll sit here, I'll do them. And you can do a lot. They get a kick when I'm doing other work and doing a news conference when you had another guy that couldn't name his favorite ice cream. They always used to ask him, what's your favorite ice cream? Vanilla. Oh, great. He's done a press conference, ladies and gentlemen. It was crazy.
Will you talk to him again, do you think?
Yeah, I'll talk
Joe
to
Biden.
him. Sure.
Do you ever call any former
you
president?
should see-
President, do you call any of the former
No,
presidents?
not much.
No.
A lot was made out of the fact that I got along very well with President Obama, right? You saw that.
Yeah, it
And I
seems
did.
so.
I can, I can do things that a lot of people
You were
can't.
friends with pretty much all of them.
I
At one
just didn't
point.
like the job they did.